In this video, I'm going to talk about square roots. How to simplify square root. Now, first, let's say if you have these four examples. So you have square root 49, square root minus 25, minus square root 81, and minus square root minus 64. Now, what is the square root of 49? What two identical numbers, when we multiplied, will give you 49? We have 7 times 7 is equal 49. So square root of 49 is equal 7. Now, what about for this example? Now, here you have a negative sign. So this will give you a real number, and this will give you a real number with an imaginary number. So square root minus 25 can be written square root 25 times square root minus 1. And square root of minus 1 is equal I, imaginary number I. So square root 25, we have 5 times 5 is equal to 25. So square root 25 is equal 5, and square root minus 1 is equal 9, I. So the answer is 5i. Now, this example is different to this, because here you have a negative sign outside. So we have here minus. Now, what two identical numbers when multiply will give you 81? We have 9 times 9. So the square root of 81 is equal 9. So the answer is minus 9. Now here we have negative here and here. So first, this fraction can be written square root 64 times square root minus 1. Square root 64 is equal 8 minus 8, and square root minus 1 is equal I. So this is the final answer. Now, sometimes you need to simplify square roots that don't contain perfect squares. For example, square root of 18 and square root 75. Now, first you need to understand what are perfect squares. Now we have 1 is a perfect square because 1 times 1 is equal 1. 4 is a perfect square because 2 times 2 is equal 4. 9 because 3 times 3 is equal 9. And we have 4 times 4 is equal 16. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 6 is equal 36. 7 times 7 49. And 8 times 8 is equal 64. 9 times 9 is equal 81. 10 times 10 is equal 100. So these are known as perfect squares, because if you have the square root, if any of these numbers, like let's say square root 36, it's going to simplify to an integer. Square root 36 is equal 6. But now 18 and 75 are not included in this list. Now, to simplify square root 18, you can break up the number 18 into two smaller numbers, one of which contains a perfect square. So what perfect square goes into 18? Now 9 times 2 is equal to 18. So we have square root 9 times square root 2. Now square root 9 is equal to 3 times square root 2. So this is the final answer. Now also here we have square root 75. 25 goes into 75 3 times. So we can write it square root 25 times square root 3 is equal square root 75, and square root 25 is equal 5 times square root 3. So the final answer is 5 square root 3. So this is the final answer.